see what we got today. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Woo, honey. Let me tell y'all something. First off, my locks is locking, ain't they? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Look here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Coffee and Conversation with Carol. Hey, hubby. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to wait a few. Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Beck. Thank you all for joining me. Good morning. Good morning. I am tired. I just got off work, as you know. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Look here, we got a lot to discuss today because honey, look here. I put this shirt on today. Now I know it was famous because Prince said it, but baby, these words is evident and true. Dearly beloved, we are gathered today to get through this thing called life. Good morning, honey, because if anybody watched that debate last night, we in trouble. Good morning, sister. We are in trouble. Look here. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Okay. Yeah. Hey, I ain't no political junkie. I don't get into who you believe we should be the president, who should not be. All I'm saying is, yeah, but we in trouble. That was embarrassing last night. That was a disgrace. It was terrible on both sides. Terrible. I watched it. I didn't want nobody to tell me about it. And I was I was at work. Yeah, I was at work. And so I put it on my phone gets CNN. I was like, "Yay." So I was able to watch it. Yeah, terrible. It was terrible. None of the good morning, Sister Janine. None of the questions that CNN commentaries was asking were really even answered. It was almost a what we call that back in the day. I'm older. What we call it? Gunning. What they call it now? What they call it now? A cap session. You capping. Both of them was capping. What else do you? I think capping to mean lying. So they wasn't capping. Well, one was lying. The other one, I don't even know if he knew what he was talking about. Uh, what they call it? Gunning. Ribbon. You know. It was a straight, just a straight disrespectful debate. It was They should have named this disrespectful debate. Come on the stage and say whatever you want to say. That's what they should have named that last night. It was not good. It was not good. Not at all. So yeah. Yeah, baby, it was worse than wolf tickets. You know that song? You know how you see something coming down the line and you can't say nothing? And what's that song, that one that I can't think of who sing it, but I was petrified. Yeah, it was quite petrifying. It was quite petrifying, let me tell you. It was quite petrifying yesterday. It was. Yep, it was quite petrifying. So, welcome to Coffee and Convos with Carol. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining me today. Um, you I was thinking about that last night as I was watching it, okay? I want y'all to go with me for a moment. So I was thinking about that last night, and I was looking at that, and I was saying to myself, people, first of all, don't they train for things like that? Don't they like give you questions and then you answer them, and sort of it's like practice, right? So you kind of have to think about your response. Correct. You have to think about your response. I will survive. Diana Ross. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will survive. Yeah. Oh, honey. We're gonna have to survive after that debate. Thank you. It was I will survive, Diana Ross. But um, when you think about what you have to say, and you think about what your response is going to be when you say it, and I thought about that while I was watching the debate. I'm like, didn't they think about that? And didn't they practice? If somebody gonna throw a jab at you, or say, as what do we say, hit below the belt. If somebody's gonna hit below the belt, and if they do, you practice what your response will be, in the mirror. How, like, when you used to get into it at school. Come on now, y'all know y'all used to get into it with people, and you'd be like, well, if she walk up and say this to me, this is what I'm gonna say. Or if he walk up and say this, this is what I'm gonna say. You didn't practice what you gonna respond with. So I was thinking about that last night as I watched the debate, and this is what popped into my mind. What comes first, thought or emotions? What comes first, thought or emotions? Because as I was watching them debate, whew, it was, yeah, didn't what just like court, yeah, just like court. It was, whoo. So what comes first? What comes first? Do you guys think? Oh, Sister Janine said thought. Can you elaborate on that for me? Why do you think thought, Sister Janine? Sister Janine said thought. What comes first, thought or emotions? What comes first? Mm. Dr. Beck said emotions. Dr. Beck, you want to elaborate? I got Sister Janine on YouTube who said thought. I have Dr. Beck over on Facebook who said emotions. What comes first? What comes first? I want both of you to elaborate a little bit. Emotions is reactive, thought is proactive. So emotions is a reactive. So I'm thinking reaction. Thought is proactive. So it's before you act. Okay. Sister Janine, why do you say thought? Any particular reason why? So for me, I believe we have emotions first too. So Sister Janine said, depending on topic, you will need to think on what to say before the emotional side is revealed. Depending on topic, you will need to think on what to say before the emotional side is revealed. Okay, so you're saying before you even have any emotions on it, it depends on what the issue is. Is that what I hear you're saying? You're saying before I can react, because you're saying emotion is a reaction, which Dr. Beck did say emotion is reactive. Thought is proactive. Okay, so yes, that's what Sister Janine is saying. So what she's saying is that you basically gonna have to, depending on what topic it is, you will need to kind of think about what type of reaction you gonna want. For me, I believe that you're gonna react first. I believe that emotions are gonna come out first before you even think, because you can go in with feelings about an individual and you can respond emotionally without thought first. Right. I do believe that, Dr. Beck, and here's why, Sister Janine. Because I take this scenario. I take a mother and a child. If a child is in danger, you are going to react first. You ain't thinking about how to react first. You're going to react first. And I get that people say, depending on the topic or the situation, I think that innately in us, we are going to have emotions first before we even have a thought. And that is the scenario I use. Because with a mother, you are innately, nature versus nurture. You're going to want to protect. And so if you see your child in trouble, you're not thinking, how can I get my child out of this? You are going to react first before you even think that you reacted. And before you know it, you didn't already reacted and did whatever it is that you needed to do. So I think that when it comes to what comes first, a thought or emotion, I feel like emotions is going to come first. Feelings come first. And I think the thought is the way to deal with the feelings because emotions are feelings. And your thought is the way you're going to deal with that emotion. So you're going to have that emotion first, and then that thought is going to come on how to deal with it. But if you say thought for you, I get it. I play devil's advocate and go between, but I do think it's going to be you're going to have emotions first before you have a thought. I wasn't thinking is the common excuse when something happens. Yeah, it is. So Sister Beck says, I wasn't thinking is the common excuse when something happens. And that is a universal response. I wasn't thinking is a universal response. Okay, Sister Janine said it's thought for her. She gonna think first. I wish we all had that resilience of thinking first, sister. Because a lot of us don't. We gonna react first. We gonna react first. But Dr. Beck said, I wasn't thinking is the common excuse when something happens. I said I wasn't thinking is a universal response for most situations. Because when you think about it, here we go with our thought. When you think about it, that's what most people say in any situation. A, a thank you response. Yeah, yeah, a thank you response. I wasn't thinking this a thank you response. What do you mean by that, Dr. Beck? A thank you response. I'm trying to because a thank you response in regards to emotions or thought. That's what I'm trying to see. I'm learning to master the pause so I don't respond with emotions first. You know, sometimes Dr. Beck, when you respond, I feel like you be in my thoughts because your response is actually part of my affirmation for the end of the segment today. So I just sometimes when you respond, I don't be wanting to read your responses because I'm like, now how's she gonna say that? Because I already had that broke down. So was she in my head or what's going on? Good morning, Pooh. I was saying thank you for the word response versus excuse. Oh, that's fine, but you said pause. So that whole statement, I'm learning to master the pause so I don't respond with emotion first. Just wait on that. Put a pin in that one. I was saying thank you for the word response versus excuse. Oh, okay. All right, I got you. I got you. Good morning, Pooh. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining. We are talking about what comes first, thought or emotions. What say you? What say you? What say you, sister Mika? What comes first, thought or emotions? Good morning. Thank you for joining. Good morning. We are talking about thank you Instagram land. We are talking about what comes first, thought or emotions. Good morning. What do you think comes first? Now, we got some saying thought, we got a few saying emotions, but what do you think comes first, thought or emotions? I really thought emotions because that was the best example I had was the mother who will react if her child is in trouble. That's what she will do. She will react first and then she'll do the rest later. That was the that was that that's why I chose that for me when I was thinking about this because I was looking at all the stuff that was going on yesterday. Did y'all see the news? First of all, we had that presidential debate or debacle. That was just diabolical, wasn't it? It was it was terrible. And then I was looking at a lot of the responses for the NBA draft because Bronny James was drafted to the LA Lakers, and he was able to play with his he's going to be able to play with his dad, which is a hope that his dad had, was that he can be in the league long enough to play basketball with his son. I don't know if it was with both sons or if it was just the eldest son, but his hope was to play ball with them. And so a lot of people had a lot of emotional responses. A lot of emotional responses. And I was just like, is they mad? He only playing because of this. He only playing because of that. But don't a lot of us do that for our children though? Don't we? If we're moving up the chain, don't we leave room for the children? I mean, don't a lot of us do that? Don't we have that same reaction? Or do you think about it and say, no, it's not that? I guess when you think about Sister Janine response, you think about it first. Okay, so you have a thought, and so it's dependent on the situation because if it's something that you're doing, but your child can benefit from it, don't you bring them in and say, hey, I want my child to be able to, do this or do that, or be able to, fulfill a lifelong dream, or be able to even just master some of the stuff that they're talking about. I mean, right, absolutely, Sister Janine. So I'm just saying, don't you feel like you would do the same? I would. If I felt like I was in a certain place and I could get my children in, I am. I also think it depends on where an individual is mentally. Years ago, I operated in an emotional state versus logical state. Although I operate in a logical state, emotions can trip me up at times if I lead with emotion. So, yeah, so it depends on a person mentally. I will agree there. And I do believe that in certain space and times in everybody's life, you're operating out of different I want to say different. I'm looking for a word there. People call it nepotism, but we should set our kids up for legacy. Yeah, we should set them up for legacy. It's not nepotism to me. It's not nepotism to me responding to, one. We should set them up. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people today. And I actually have been researching some things because I really want to touch on that next week. I really do. As far as, children and parents and, you know, this new thing that we're doing. Good morning, brother. As far as, tradition versus non-tradition, you got a lot of stuff going on. And so I don't want to get too far off topic, but when it comes to all those emotional responses that I saw, it was just so many of them, like upset that this man had a status where he was able to help his son, and mm, everybody just can't be in that position, but he was, and what's wrong with it? You know, ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I bet you a lot of people didn't even know. Stephen Curry, I believe his sister, I want to say Stephen Curry's sister, is married to Doc Rivers' son. Or is it Stephen Curry's brother is married? Nepotism, same thing. I can't see what he's saying. What did he say? I'll read that in a minute. I believe it's Stephen Curry's brother is married to Doc Rivers' daughter, something like that. But that whole family is connected, like literally. Stephen Curry, his brother, Doc Rivers' children, his son, like they all like. When you say keep it in the family, baby, that whole legacy train is all in that little circle. Okay, so yes, it's Doc's son. Good morning, Pooh. So it's okay. So it's Doc's son. So it's Doc's son married to The sister, yeah. But I mean, and people don't talk about that, but they got all that together. We see it all the time in the workplace, but it usually doesn't come from people. It's still loading who look like me. Right, right. And so when it's somebody who look like us, then it's a situation, right? Because we see it all you see it all the time. Nepotism, same thing. Same thing our distant cousins do. It is the same thing our distant cousins do. So brother Mike over here said the same thing that Dr. Beck said, just in a little different way. Just in a little different way, because both of you said the nepotism, which I don't see anything wrong with it. So when you think about what he chose to do and what was allowed to do, I I believe with that situation, I believe he had a lot of thought first. Good morning, sister. Good morning, sister Tanya. I think he had a lot of thought first before emotions came. Yes, same thing you just said. So I think he had a lot of thought first before he just came. Good morning. Thank you for joining me. We are talking about what comes first, thought or emotions. Thought or emotions. And I picked this because I was looking at all of the emotional reactions last night, from NBA drafting to the debacle debate. It was a lot of emotional reactions going on. So I was just wondering, was people thinking before they were reacting? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Sister Tina. Late morning. Yeah. Woo, honey. That was some emotional reacting too. hmm We are talking about what comes first, thought or emotions. What comes first, thought or emotions? We have some saying thought in certain circumstances. We have some saying emotions in circumstances. And we were talking about the debate because there was a lot of emotional reactions with the debate. We were talking about the NBA draft because Bronny was drafted with his dad. So it was a lot of emotional reactions online about that. People mad and just upset, and his son this and that. They mad. Shoot. They say Giannis' brother can't play either, but he on the team. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Each one reach one. Emotions normally rise first, but thought should come first. Yes, yes, Sister Pooh. So we did. A lot of us said that, but Sister Janine was saying that it's thought because it depends on the situation first. So the situation is what determines what comes first. That's what Sister Janine was saying. Sister Tina says emotions too. But Sister Janine said that it depends on what the situation is, what comes first. Good morning, Cynthia. Um, if the situation calls for thinking, then you think. If the situation calls for emotions, then emotions. I said emotions, and the example I used was a mother. If the child was in trouble, you don't think about how can I help the child. You just do it. If that makes sense. So that's what I said. Nothing wrong with a little nepotism. Nope. Everybody's saying that. Nothing wrong with a little nepotism. Nothing wrong with a little nepotism. I'm gonna use mine if I could. Mine just don't like what I do. I could have got them in class. They don't like none of that what I do in the healthcare field. So they had to go find their own way. They was like, that what she do. I ain't built for that. So, and in that case, that's fine. If you're not built for healthcare and I can't help you reach no goals there, then you have to find what you built for. Find your own little nook and get it done. But there's nothing wrong with a little nepotism at all. At least I don't think there is. But that's what we're talking about today. What comes first? Thought or emotions? I think that was a good engagement because first of all, we brought out nepotism. Dearly beloved, we are all gathered here to get through this thing called life because, baby, life is life, and ain't it? Especially if you saw that debacle debate last night. I didn't know what to say. My daughter got a job with the same hospital as me years ago, not same department, but I loved it. Yeah. When if you can get your child in, say a word, speak a word, and people want to bring your child. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I Look here, if I could do it, but I said mine don't want to do what I do. Everybody's not built for healthcare and CNA and nursing world. Everybody ain't built for that. It takes a real passionate patient and a person who can stomach a whole lot of stuff in order to do that job. And if you're not one, then don't do it. Please don't. Please don't. Because if you do, you might not end up where you you might not end up where you think you should be. Okay. Nursing, as we know, is life. And yes. So in some situations, I believe the thought comes first. And Sister Tanya says this. Well, Sister Pooh said, nursing, as we know, is life. And I told her, yes, that's true. Sister Tanya also said, so in some situations, I believe the thought comes first, and of that thinking, especially for those who tend to overthink, then the emotion seeps in, which leads us back to the importance of communication. Can communications, thoughts that are uncommunicated can magnify emotions. Mm, okay. Thoughts that are uncommunicated can magnify emotions. Okay. I like that. Yeah, because you overthinking it and all you doing is keep feeding that thought. And the bigger it grows, then that's when the reaction comes. Because Dr. Beck said earlier, emotions are reactive. Sister Janine says, I agree. Facts. Y'all are the real MVPs. Thank you. Sister Janine agrees with Sister Tanya. So they both on the thought depending on the situation. Some said emotions depending on some said emotions. Sister Tanya and Sister Janine said thought depending on the situation. And so, like I said, I brought that up because that debacle debate, the NBA draft, you just had a lot of uh emotions going on yesterday. And so I wanted to know what people thought. Do you think thought came first or emotion before people started acting out like they was last night? I'm a Libra. I overthink everything, but my emotions win the debate. I agree. I agree to a certain extent, Sister Pooh, because I'm a Libra. And I think I overthink in certain situations. So to a degree, I had asked that question a couple weeks ago. Do you have any belief to the zodiac signs and stuff? And to a certain degree, I do overthink. I do, but it depends on what I'm overthinking about. Normally, I overthink about stuff that has to do with me, not nobody else, if that makes sense. It just has to do with me. Am I going to take this job? Do I want to go out of town? Should I buy that dress or them shoes? I overthink and overanalyze when it comes to me. But when it's like work or a situation that I got to handle, I normally don't overthink. I'm making a decision and we going with it. I normally it's just cut and dry. So I think when it comes to certain things, personally for us as Libras, I think we do overthink and emotions does win the debate because it leads us to say, hey, this is just what I'm gonna choose. So I totally agree with that. I have to have a plan A through Z for me. And yes, we always have to have a plan A through Z. We never can just have one plan because A through D ain't gonna work, nor is E through the rest of it ain't gonna work either. Let me see. Sister Tina says, what did she say? Um, that causes me to miss a position, nepotism. So Sister Tina said that caused her to miss a position, nepotism. um, well, I didn't think of that like that, but I guess so. Depending on what the position is and who you are and who the person is. I think if you think about it though, people are having an emotional reaction to it, but then look who his dad is. And so with that, what you saying that knowing who you know and getting you into the door caused you to miss out on a position, it might not have been you. I'm just saying. It might not have been you. Your resume might have been stellar, but the person recommended may have not been, So I ain't touching that. I'm just saying. Sometimes you can't use everybody as a reference, you know. You know. I'm just saying. Some people parent can't be used, I don't want to step on no toes here, but some parents out here, I don't think they're gonna be putting them down like this my daddy or this my mama. P. Diddy. Okay. Um, you don't want to be putting certain folks down on your application. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. I wanted to do something fun before we leave, and I wanted to get everybody's quick reaction. And to see what you all would say about this. And if you could choose to be any animal, what kind and why? If you can choose to be any animal, what kind and why? I said I would choose to be an elephant because the elephant never forgets. They're thinkers. Not only are they thinkers, they're very quiet, but they're very observant and very resilient too. So I said an elephant. That's what I said. I said an elephant. So if you could choose to be any animal, what kind of animal would you choose? I said an elephant. I would choose to be an elephant. If I had to be an animal, I would have wanted to be an elephant. They strong too. And I'm pretty strong. I'm pretty anything in a cat family. Lion, tiger, panther. Dr. Beck said anything in a cat family. She want to be a lion, lion, tiger. You couldn't put bear there. She said lion, tiger, panther. Oh my. Sister Pooh said a bird. They look so free. They do, don't they? Birds are free. And they can fly wherever. Take a rest, get back up and fly. So Sister Tanya went back to the nepotism. I said there's nothing wrong with the little nepotism because thinking of it in this way, for what other reason will we use our success but to pass it on to our kids, our siblings, our families? That's how we create legacy. Yep, facts. Oh, Dr. Beck said a jaguar as well. How about you over here on YouTube? If you could be an animal, what would it be? Any answers here? Sister Tina, Sister Janine, Brother Mike? All right. Well, I'm looking at the time. I went over a little bit, but that's okay. I like to thank everybody for joining me today. I would like to thank everybody for joining me today. Remember, my link is in my bio, and you are more than welcome to share. Oh, Sister Janine says she want to be a horse, free to roam and strong. Okay. A horse, free to roam and strong. I like that answer too. But again, I thank you all for joining me. And for whoever didn't join, these reels and these shares are out there for you to go back and look, especially on YouTube. So if you follow my link in the bio and subscribe, you can see and play it back, listen, pick up some tips. So I hope I'm here to inspire, encourage, give you something to think about on today. Affirmation for today is pausing, Sister Dr. Beck, is an act of self-compassion. Okay. Take perspective on your life. Okay. It's okay to pause. All right. It's all right to take a pause. It's an act of self-compassion. All right. And I want you guys to remember, since today is Friday, I'm going to give you two. My play is as important as my work. All right. Somebody said to me, you take a lot of vacations. Every time we turn around, you off work. You always off work. And I said to them, because I work hard, I play hard. All right. So my play is as important as my work. And pausing is an act of self-compassion. All right. I want you all to remember this is still Men's Health Month. All right. Until Sunday. And so we still are, hey, just because Men's Health Month be over on Sunday doesn't mean you have to stop worrying about your men's health. Okay. And that goes for the men too. All right. And remember, we're covering the whole man spiritually. We're covering him physically, mentally, and emotionally. All of those areas. Okay. Also, back to school rallies are in full effect. Okay. I want everybody to know. So I'm going to go as quick as I can, but as slow as I can so you can get this information. We have end of back to school drive for Unity Gospel House of Prayer. All right, their thing is Aspire to Achieve 2024. The address for Unity Gospel House of Prayer is 1747 North 12th Street. That's 1747 North 12th Street. It's going to happen on Saturday, August 3rd, 2024, from noon to 4 p.m. Okay? That's the Unity Gospel House of Prayer, 1747 North 12th Street, on Saturday, August 3rd, 2024, from noon to 4 p.m. Mark your calendars, okay? Because here's the thing. You might be having or hearing a back to school rally drive. You might have to work that day. Okay. So I want you to listen to all these dates that I'm giving because it's important. And take your kids. They might have snacks, little fun, everything. Take them so they can meet and greet and get them a book bag and see how you maneuver. All right. Then we have Sharon, Seven-Day Adventist Church on August 4th. All right. Sharon, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, sister. Correct me if I'm wrong. Seven-Day Adventist Church on August 4th at 12 to 4 p.m. And that's located at 2389 North Teutonia Avenue. Okay. Please come in the main parking lot on Teutonia Avenue, the side. And please bring the children. All right. All right, like the woman's name. Thank you. All right. You're welcome, Dr. Beck. Dr. Beck gave me Unity Gospel House of Prayer. All right, 1747 North 12th Street. That's Saturday, August 3rd, 12 to 4. We have Sister Janine who gave us Sharon, Seven-Day Adventist Church on August 4th. Okay, from 12 to 4 as well. 2389 North Teutonia Avenue. All right, that's Sharon, Seven-Day Adventist Church, August 4th, 12 to 4. And that's 2389 North Teutonia Avenue. And then we have my church home, the New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, located at 2433 West Roosevelt Drive. And that's going to happen on August the 10th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay. That's August 10th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, 2433 West Roosevelt Drive. I'm going to be announcing these every Friday up until the day of so that people can hear it and know it. And again, put it on your calendars. Share it with somebody. Somebody's kids may need some book bags, some paper, just to help them get started for the first week or two for school. You never know what the need is for people. And we are here to help and have a need. Community need help. And so what better way to help them by giving back, okay? Also, I want you to know that We the Nurses organization will be out this Sunday at 3 p.m. on 10th and Wells, helping the needy people, helping the needs of the community. I don't like that other word. Y'all know I don't like that word, okay? So we're going to be out there helping the needs of the people. Remember your affirmations on the day, okay? My play is as important as my work, okay? I work hard, I play hard. All right. That's just it. That's it. That's all. And pausing is an act of self compassion. I want you guys to remember to live and love. Never ever stop laughing. That's why I keep a smile on my face. All right. Never ever stop laughing and always forgive because there is one love. Bob Marley said it best, one love. We have to learn how to love each other. All right. I love you guys. I want you guys to have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weekend. I think I'm going to an all-white party this weekend, and Jagged Edge gonna be there. So, hey, meet me at the altar in your white dress. Ain't nothing wrong with a little fun. I work hard, I play harder. All right. So you guys have a good weekend. See you all on Monday at 8:30. Remember that link is in my bio. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for supporting me. I'll see you Monday.